Hi, my name is Kyuri, and welcome to my Peak Pose series. So I'm creating this series to help yogis that are new and also advanced that are trying to look to get into more difficult poses and all the preliminary work and the pose that will be required to get into that space. Not that we'll always get it the first time. I am working with a new body after having a baby. So a lot of these poses that I'm going to start incorporating back into my practice is not quite accessible to me yet either. So what we're going to do today is we're going to work towards Camel Pose, which is Ustrasana. So we're going to do a lot of heart openers in different positions that's going to help us physically prep for the position. I also wanted to start with a heart opening type of postures to leave us open to the opportunities of the growth that can happen when we practice consistently together. So for our class today, blocks will be helpful, but they're not mandatory. Just roll out your mat if you have one, and we'll begin whenever you're ready. So today in our session, we'll actually begin seated on our knees. And if this position is really difficult, really tough on the ankles because your ankles are really tight and having them in this extended position doesn't feel very good, you could take a block and you can actually take it to the medium height and set it underneath where your hips would be so that you can alleviate a little bit of height away from those ankles. But once you find that seat, whatever that looks like for you today, try to have a nice elongated spine, even if you do have a prop underneath you. And if you notice that you are not on a prop and it starts to feel more uncomfortable and it's not becoming accessible to you anymore, then you can always slide this block underneath to help support you in this posture. But wherever you are, just do a couple of shoulder rolls, waking everything up nice and easy. Place your hands onto your thighs, maybe palms facing up to help you receive. And take a couple of deep breaths to help us set the mood. Focusing on long exhales is really going to help us out in this practice today. And to help us relax a little bit into these heart openers. But the inhales are going to also be really, really important because most of the back bends do happen on the inhale. So as we keep that in mind, we'll take a couple more breaths, nice and long. Maybe find that gentle ujjayi pranayama, that gentle constriction to the back of the throat. So you can feel that audible breath, helping to slow everything down. Really good. One more. Good. Gently wiggle through your fingers, wiggle through your toes. And then as you begin your next breath, tie the knuckles behind the back and reach the palms or reach the knuckles down towards the earth. Take a nice big breath in. Reach the arms out to the sides and up overhead. Inhale breath. And then exhale, bring your hands out to your sides. And then gently tuck the chin underneath. Inhale again, reach the arms up. Look up with the head. Exhale again as you release. Good. One more like that. Inhale, open, extend. And then this time, cactus the elbows out to the sides into a cactus position, and then reach your heart up towards the sky, coming into our first back bend. Inhale again, extend the arms up, draw the ribs in. And then exhale again, elbows out, heart up. Good. Last time like that. Inhale, reach. And then exhale again, open it up. Good. Inhale again as you reach the arms up nice and high. And then this time, exhale, bring that right hand over towards the right side of the mat. Take a gentle side bend over towards that right, elongating through that left side. Use your inhales to lengthen, coming up halfway, and then exhales to deepen. Good. We'll do that one more time. Inhale halfway. Exhale, engage, deepen. Inhale, come all the way back up to the top as you reach both arms high. And then exhale, left hand down this time. Support yourself with that hand. Reach that right arm up and overhead. And come long every time you inhale. And then a little bit deeper with each exhale. Good. One more time like that. Inhale. And exhale. Gently come all the way back up to the top, reaching both arms back up high. And then exhale, forward fold, taking your arms back behind you. Bring your forehead down either onto the mat, and if that's not accessible, you can bring the first block down onto your forehead. Peel the heart open by reaching the knuckles down and back towards your heels. And then inhale, lift the arms all the way up overhead. Good. Take a couple breaths here. Pulling the navel in nice and tight every time you exhale. Breathe. Really good. One more. Good. Gently come all the way back up. Releasing the arms. Rolling out the shoulders. Yeah. And then we're going to come on to tabletop. So you can remove that block from out in front of you. Lift your hips up off the block. Send your legs back. And then remove the block from underneath, since you won't need that one for a little bit. So we're going to find our cat-cows, getting the rest of the spine into the game, including our lower and our mid-back. So on our next inhale, drop the belly, lift the tailbone as well as your gaze. Think long through the neck. And then as you exhale, push the earth away, dome the top of your back, tuck your tailbone and chin underneath. Now go back and forth between these movements at your own pace, at your own rhythm. And just notice where you feel tension, where you feel tightness or a little achiness every time you come into either one position or the other. Beautiful. One more time. Good. And then gently come back into a nice neutral spine. We're going to find another twist here, deepening the twist through the rest of the spine here as well. So you're going to bring your left hand a little bit more towards your center line, and on your next inhale, reach the right arm nice and high. Make sure your head turns with you the entire time as you rotate to the opposite side, reaching your left arm underneath the left armpit, and reach for the opposite side of the room. Inhale again, peel that arm up towards the sky. Big breath in. And then exhale as you rotate it back down. Inhale again, expand, extend. Exhale, tuck it underneath. Good. Lastly, inhale, reach. And then exhale back down. Good. We're going to plant that right hand where the left is. And then on your next inhale, reach that left arm high. Peeling the heart open, doing your best to stack shoulders. Exhale, reach for the opposite side of the room. Allow your head to rotate with you completely. Inhale again, extend. Exhale again as you round. Good. Inhale again as you open. Exhale again as you round. Good. Final one here. Inhale, extend. And then exhale, round. Good. Inhale, extend that arm all the way up towards the sky. Before you exhale and plant that hand back down towards the earth. Good. Once you have that, you are going to take your right foot and extend it all the way back behind you. And then take that left hand and reach it all the way out in front of you. Good. The toes and the fingertips stay down on the inhale breath. As you exhale, pull the navel in and lift both arm and leg. Good. Inhale, bring the hands down and the foot down. And then exhale, extend without lifting the hip or the shoulder. Good. Inhale again. And then last one, exhale. Good. You're going to bend that back knee, reach back for that foot with that left hand, and then flex your foot into your hand to help support that knee, and then start to kick your foot into your hand as you help open up through the chest. And think about lifting through that front body as you lift through that back thigh. Good. Keeping your shoulders active by really pushing your foot into that hand. Really good. One more. Gently release that arm and leg without slingshotting it. And then gently place the hand and foot back down onto your mat. We're going to do one cat-cow in between. So on your next inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the spine. And then gently come back into a nice neutral spine to start again. Good. From here, your left leg is going to extend back, and your right arm is going to extend forward, keeping the fingertips and the toes down to start. On your next inhale, you're going to squeeze and lift. Sorry, inhale, hold it there. And then as you exhale, pull the belly in, keep your shoulders and your hips square as you lift. And then inhale, lower. Exhale, engage and lift. Good. Slowly lower, inhale. Exhale, lift. Good. Inhale, lower. Good. Exhale, lift. Good. And then from here, bend the back knee, flex the foot, reach back with that hand, and then start to kick that foot into your hand as you slowly start to lift through the chest. Good. Breathe nice and big here. Actively push your foot into that hand, lift through the chest, without the expectation that it's going to feel the same, because it doesn't for me. This side hurts more. Good. One more. Good. Inhale here. Exhale, slowly release. Gently bring that hand and foot back down onto your mat. Good. From there, you're going to extend the hands forward towards the front, your legs back behind you for that nice long plank, and then send your hips all the way up and back into your downward facing dog. Good. We're going to open up into the legs a little bit, warming them up, pedaling left and right. Making sure that we're really pushing down into the top knuckles of the palms, the fingertips, opening our fingers nice and wide. Distributing a little bit more weight towards the front without actually lifting the heel of the hands. Really shrugging our shoulders up towards our ears, pushing the earth away. And then on your next inhale, you're going to look forward towards the front of the mat. Exhale, take small steps to walk yourself forward. Once your feet make it to the front, inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Reach the arms up. As I exhale, hands down to your sides, Samastiti. Good. We'll do 2 sun salutations. On your next inhale, reach the arms up high. Big exhale, forward fold as you let it all the way down to the ground. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. And then as you exhale, plant your hands, step your feet back into that high plank. And then lower your plank down halfway. You can always do this on knees. Roll over the toes, push into the hands, lift up through the chest for upward facing. And then exhale, lower yourself down, untuck the toes, lift yourself up and back into your downward facing dog. Take a big breath in, followed by a big breath out. As you take your next breath in, look forward towards the front of the mat. Exhale, walk, hop, or step to the front for your feet to meet the hands. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way back up to stand, hands up, look up as you reach. And then exhale, relax the hands back down to your sides, Samasthiti. Good. Inhale again, rise up to the top, Surya A. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step your feet back, Chaturanga Dandasana. You can always do this on knees, modified if you need. On the inhale, roll over the toes, push up, lift through the chest. And then exhale, lower yourself down, push yourself all the way up and back into your downward facing dog. Good. On your next inhale, you're going to look forward towards the front of the room. Exhale, closing up the Surya as your feet meet your hands. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold as you let it go. Inhale, rise all the way to the top to Tadasana, reaching the arms up high. And then exhale, hands down to your sides, Samastiti. Good. Let's go into a little flow to help open us up and get us ready for our camel pose. On your next inhale, you're going to come into a nice big chair pose. So sit your hips back, reach the arms forward, really lifting to the chest. And then as you exhale, forward fold, extend the legs as you let it go. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale again, plant the hands, step your feet back into that high plank. Slowly, Chaturanga Dandasana to your capacity. Roll over the toes, lift through the chest, upward facing. And then as you exhale, roll your hips all the way back into a child's pose instead. Good. From your child's pose, you're going to slowly just roll your spine forward all the way to the front until you lay yourself down flat. Yeah, and then we're going to do a couple of big ones, back extensions, while utilizing the strength of our arms as well. Good. So I want you to think about bringing your hands one on top of the other, resting your forehead on top of that. And then whenever you're ready, bring the toes together to touch. Inhale, squeeze and lift your entire body. And then as you exhale, send the arms all the way back, airplane wings. Good. Inhale, reach the arms forward while keeping yourself up high. And then exhale again, hand on top of the other, forehead rests, and relax. Good, that was one. We got 3 more just like that. Inhale, squeeze and lift. Exhale, airplane wings. Inhale, send the arms all the way forward again. And then exhale again as you lower yourself back down. That was number 2. Inhale again, squeeze and lift. Exhale, airplane wings. Inhale, bring the hands back forward. And then exhale, hands down, forehead down. You got it. Last one. Inhale, squeeze and lift. Exhale, airplane wings. Inhale, arms forward. And then exhale again as you lower yourself down. Beautiful. You're going to take one hand by the rib cage and the other one as well. Roll yourself all the way up and back into a nice, easy child's pose to help you counter from all those back extensions. So slow your breath. Notice how the body feels after you've put in the work. Let's see if you can maintain that nice long breath that we had from the very beginning. This is what our breaks are for. Good. We'll have one more breath here. Good. As you find your next inhale, you take your arms out in front of you. Slowly roll back up to your hands and your knees. We'll find our plank once more just so that we can find ourselves back in our downward facing dog. So extend the legs all the way back, knees up, and then send the hips all the way up and back into that downward facing dog. And then on your next inhale, you take that right leg all the way up towards the sky. Inhale, reach that right leg high. Good. As you exhale, you bring that knee towards your nose. And we're going to hold that there for 3, 2, 1 before we step that foot forward to meet the hands. Once the foot lands, I want you to bring your right foot over towards the right and your left foot over towards the left so that it becomes a little bit easier to come up into that high lunge. Good. So I want you to start that high lunge nice and easy by bending that back knee. And if your left hip is back like mine is, see if you can bring that a little bit more forward so that your hips are in line with each other. And if you have to step that foot forward a little bit, do so. Once you have that, take a look at that front knee. Make sure it's favoring the right side just a little bit, and you can sit nice and low into it. Once you have that, you're going to take your pelvis, and instead of having your booty back like this, tuck your booty forward. And then while you're maintaining that, then start to push forward without letting your hips tilt back, and then reach the arms all the way up towards the sky. Now, to distract you from your legs a little bit, we'll open the hearts here. Inhale here. Exhale, cactus the elbows out to the sides, lift the heart up towards the sky. Inhale again, reach the arms high. Exhale, cactus elbows. Open it up. Good. One more time, inhale, reach. And then exhale again, cactus elbows, open it up. Good. Inhale again as you reach the arms nice and high. And then exhale, take the arms all the way back behind you. Lace the hands behind the lower back. Reach the arms all the way up overhead as you rest your belly against the thigh. Humble warrior. Good. Keep that back leg nice and straight for this one. Breathe nice and big. Good. Two more. So good. Last one. Good. Gently drop that back knee. Inhale, rise all the way back up to the top, reaching both arms up high. And then exhale, take that right hand to grab that left wrist, and then reach that arm all the way up and over. Find a good gentle side bend while keep pressing the hips forward. Breathe here. Good. Two more. Really good. Last one. Good. Inhale here. Exhale, release both hands back down towards the front. Good. You're going to take that front leg, start to stretch it out as you reach that front toes up as you straighten out that front leg. And then start to walk the hands back. And then you're going to push your booty back and then hinge forward to find a forward fold. Good. Two more breaths. Really good. Last one. Gently lift your torso back up. Walk your hands back forward as you step back into that right foot. Plant that right hand in on the outside of that leg so you can tuck that back toe. Lift the back knee up. Then from there, you can take your right leg all the way back behind you. And then you can lower yourself down halfway. Chaturanga Dandasana. Roll over the toes as you lift up through the chest, Urdhva Mukha. And then exhale all the way up and back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, your downward facing dog. Good. Let's have another moment as we take it to the other side. Inhale, reach that left leg high. And then exhale, bring that knee towards your nose. Maintain that for 3, 2, 1. Step that foot forward. Good. You're going to bring that foot again out to the outside, onto the left, and your right foot over towards the right. So it's a little bit easier to find your footing and come on up to your high crescent. Once you have that, again, bring your hands to your hips to get a better idea of how to square everything. So bring your right hip forward, sink down a little bit more, tuck your pelvis forward rather than having the booty back. And then from there, slowly start to extend that back leg without losing the bend in that front knee. Once you have all of that, then extend the arms all the way up towards the sky. Let's distract ourselves here. Take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, elbows out to the sides, heart up towards the sky. Find that balance. Inhale again as you reach the arms up. Exhale again as you open it up. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, cactus the elbows. Good. One more time. Inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, cactus the elbows. Lift the chest up. Good. Inhale, reach the arms up nice and high. And then exhale, slowly drop that back knee. And then left hand grabs right wrist this time. Inhale, reach. And then exhale, take the side bend over towards your left. Good. Breathing nice and big here. Last 2. One more. Inhale, reach both arms up high. Exhale, bring the hands down low. Good. And slowly start to walk your hands all the way back as you start lifting the left toes. Keep that front leg nice and straight. Push your left booty back. Take a nice big breath in. And then exhale, hinge forward as you forward fold. Good. Last breath here. And we'll slowly pick ourselves up, walking the hands back forward towards the front of the mat, planting them firmly so that you can tuck your toes and lift the back knee up off the mat. Take your left leg all the way back behind you until you can find yourself in that nice long plank. Lower yourself down halfway. Inhale, upward facing. And then exhale, downward facing. Good. 2 breaths here. Good. You're going to inhale, look forward. And then exhale, slowly come down to your knees. Good. You're going to walk your hands back and sit on those heels with your toes tucked this time. So your toes are tucked underneath you. You're just sitting up nice and tall. We're opening up to the backs of the feet. Take a couple breaths. Really good. One more. Then you're going to gently shift your weight forward. And then you're going to take your left foot and bring it out in front of you while sitting on the right one. So while you're still having the right leg tucked, you're going to have your left leg forward. And if this is too uncomfortable for you, you could do the same thing. Take a block on the flattest setting and set it right underneath your right butt cheek. But whenever you have that, you're going to take a nice big breath in. And then exhale, hinge forward. Reach for your ankles, your foot, your big toe, whatever you can. And just find a gentle stretch. Say gentle like it's comfortable. It's not. But these are the ones that we have to kind of do to get to where we want to go. So do your best. Focus on those long exhales. Allow your body to ease into it. Good. One more breath here. Good. And then you're going to gently use your hands to press yourself back up. Bring the right leg out in front of you. And then take your left foot all the way back. So your left foot comes back again. The ankle might not feel the same. That's totally okay. If you need a rolled blanket or a block or a pillow underneath your left butt cheek, please do that. But wherever you end up, take a nice big breath in. Keep flexing the right toes back. And then as you exhale, hinge forward as you find that forward fold. So breathe nice and big. Allow yourself to melt into it the best you can. And make sure you're listening to your body and you're not taking it too far. Good. Last breath. And then slowly roll yourself back up. Untuck that left leg. Bring both of your feet and your knees up towards the sky in a nice wide stance. And then just allow your knees to go side to side, focusing on that internal rotating knee, the knee that's coming inside. Good. So from here, we're going to gently just bring our feet to our inner soles of our feet in towards each other. Bring our knees out to the side. Take a nice big inhale here. And then exhale, just round through the upper back as you bring your nose down towards your toes. Allowing gravity to really help open up into those thighs. Good. As you finish up that exhale, take your time to slowly roll your spine back up. Head and neck are the last things to come up. And then gently utilize your hands to help close up the knees. Good. You're going to scoot yourself down towards the bottom of the mat and grab one of your blocks. You're going to take one of those blocks and place it right in between your thigh, and it's not bothering the knees or hitting the knees. You're going to plant your feet really close to your hips and then slowly lower yourself all the way down onto your back. Good. You're going to tuck your shoulders underneath so you create a nice flat platform against your upper back. And then make sure that your hands can really reach down. Maybe like your fingers can graze your heels and touch your heels. Good. If you are in that position, hug your knees in really, really close. If you feel like you can bring your feet a little bit closer to do that, please do so. Outside of that, take a nice big inhale breath. Press down into those feet. Squeeze that block really hard. Lift your hips up as high as you can. Bring your chest up to meet your chin. And then exhale, hold it there. Inhale, squeeze your glutes and your belly in, lift a little bit higher. And then exhale, roll the hips down one vertebrae at a time. Beautiful. Inhale again, squeeze and lift. Exhale, hold it there. Inhale, push a little bit harder. And then exhale, roll it back down. Good. Inhale again, squeeze and lift the hips. Exhale again, hold it there. Inhale again, push a little bit more. And then exhale, lower it down. Good. You got one last lift. Inhale, squeeze and lift. Exhale, hold. Inhale again, one final push. And then exhale, roll it down. Beautiful. Release the block. Hug your knees into your chest. Good. Once you've given yourself that nice big hug, grab the back of your thighs, pick up your forehead up to meet your knees, and then you're just going to swing and sway forward and back a few times until you can come all the way up to your seat. The final one for prep is going to be our back opener. So you're going to take that block, place it against the top portion of your mat to where you think your upper back is going to hit, so right behind the chest. And what you're going to do is you're going to hold on to that block with maybe your thumbs and then just gently lower yourself down. It's a little bit of a guessing game to start out to figure out where that block placement needs to be. But as long as it's supporting the upper back and chest, that's kind of a good place to start. Once you have that, you can either keep your legs bent or you can extend the legs out. It doesn't really matter. The focus here is the upper back. So you're going to take the hands behind the head, and on your next inhale, lean your head into your hands as hard as you can comfortably and open up into your chest, into your lats as you keep the elbows nice and wide. Take a nice big breath in. And then as you exhale, just round through the upper back, keeping the edge of the block on your shoulder blades. Inhale again, expand and open. And then exhale again as you round. Good. Inhale again as you open. Exhale again as you round. Good. Inhale again as you open. Good. Last one. Exhale again as you round. Good. Inhale, come back into a nice neutral. Take your hands behind you. Use that to help push yourself up. Good. And then you're going to slide the block out from underneath. Good. You're going to actually hold on to both of these because we're going to use them to help support ourselves in our camel position first, because it's kind of hard to know, especially when you're starting out. So I'm going to angle myself this way so it's a little bit easier to see from all directions. And what you're going to do is you're going to place those blocks right to the outsides of your ankles with your knees and your ankles about hip distance apart. Once you have that, you're going to bring your hands to your hips, and that's going to help you roll the elbows and shoulders back, giving you an upper back a little bit of support. And then instead of having your belly out like this, think about drawing the ribs in, drawing the pelvis forward and tucking your pelvis forward. Squeeze your glutes. And as you inhale, I want you to think up. Yeah, so up through your upper back. So think up. And then keep squeezing the elbows back. Support your lower back as you slowly lower yourself down behind you. And your blocks are probably not that far away. So grab your blocks behind you. Notice how this feels as you bring your hands down onto them. And then start pushing your hips forward more and drop your head back. Take a couple breaths here if you can. And then take your time to slowly lift yourself up and come back into a nice neutral spine. If you're like, that felt actually okay, I feel like I could do a little bit more, You can rotate the blocks to that medium setting, so it's right about here. And then you're going to do the same thing. So have them right on the outsides of the ankle. Bring your hands to your hips. Roll the elbows and shoulders back. Press your hands into the back of your hips. And then lift your heart up towards the sky. Lift up, 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 up. And then maybe bring your hand down to the block and maybe the other, allowing yourself to surrender a little bit more into that back bend. So again, drop your head back when you're ready. Take a few breaths. Good. Slowly press yourself back up. Whew. Good. See if you can. If you feel like you can take one more, the next step would just be to ditch the blocks and have your toes tucked to start. The final one would be the complete release, but only do that one if you feel like your back is feeling really flexible, you're feeling really engaged, and you're feeling safe on the way up. So again, tuck the toes. Same rules apply. Have your hands at your hips. Roll your elbows and shoulders back. This is probably going to be the last one for me today. So take your time to slowly hinge back a little bit. Keep the heart up. Reach for your heels. Press down into the tops of the feet. And then lift the hips forward. Breathe here. Once you get out those 3 breaths and you slowly pick yourself back up to your knees, you're going to take a gentle child's pose. If there is one more variation, the one with the toes untucked, and you want to attempt that one today, please do so. I'll meet you in the child's pose whenever you're ready. So if you have joined me in your child's pose, finding that gentle rounding sensation through your back after all of that back arching that we just did, all of that heart opening that we just did, to make us more available to the opportunities and to the energies around us. Know that you are in a safe space and that you've done so much and you've already come so far by practicing today. To not judge your body for what it can or cannot do. Whatever it can and is capable of will come with time. Just make sure that you stay consistent and dedicated to your own practice. So as we settle, allowing ourselves to feel confident and kind within our bodies, giving it the positive affirmations and the gratitude that it deserves. It's the only body we've got. We have to take care of it. So thank yourself for showing up for your practice today, for your body showing up for you. As you let that breath go, slowly roll up to your seat and find that comfortable Shavasana. So if laying on your back is your most preferred Shavasana position, please find yourself in that position there. Keeping your heart nice and open towards the sky. Allowing yourself to support yourself if you feel like you need a little bit of a support in this position, whether taking your hand on your heart or your belly can help. But allow your breath to come back to its natural rhythm and pace. And take this moment to reflect on what openness can bring us and can bring us into our lives. I'm not going to lie, becoming a mom has closed me off to a lot of things, and it's made things a lot harder to do. But I know that if I stay open, if I stay consistent, and if I keep showing up, things can shift with time. So no matter where you are on your journey, I hope that you are able to find contentment, happiness, and joy as you practice and grow, knowing that things can change when we can stay dedicated and consistent with ourselves and our practice. So as we allow ourselves to take one last moment with our thoughts and with our bodies, we'll invite a nice big breath in to fill ourselves up with everything that we might need, followed by an exhale filled with anything that no longer does. Gently wiggle through your fingers and your toes. Maybe roll out your ankles and your wrists. One last full body stretch does call to you. Just allow your body to reach through and extend and enjoy one final full body stretch. As you conclude your practice, take your time to move nice and slow, rolling over to your favorite side, coming into that comfortable fetal position. Allowing yourself to check in one final time, just noticing, acknowledging what is and what isn't, and what we'd like to change. And as those thoughts come to a close, take your time to slowly push yourself up back to a comfortable seat. Once we have arrived, bringing one hand over the heart, one hand over the belly, thanking yourself for showing up, this practice, in this space to grow and learn together. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide yours today, from my heart to yours. Thank you so much for opening up with me and for getting a little bit stronger than we were yesterday. And I hope to see you at the next one.